Hello and welcome to another episode of the Meaningful Marketing Podcast. My guest today is a photographer from the Headshot Guys. Welcome, Brad Delaney,
Thanks, Chantal, for having
from
me.
the Gold Coast, Brisbane.
Yep. How you going?
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. So the Headshot Guys, tell
Yep.
me, how did you come up with that name for a photographer?
I guess when I started the business, and I've been a photographer on the Gold Coast for a long time, but I started the business and I was shooting anything and everything. And I had a mate who was into marketing. He was a business coach, and he said, "Listen, your stuff's really good, but you've got to find a niche." And I went, "Oh, okay." So I went, "Oh, what's happening at the moment?" And this is way back in 2010 or something. And I was looking at the States because we generally follow their trends, and Facebook was starting to happen. Instagram probably not quite around yet. And I just kept on seeing headshots. I was shooting at that stage a lot of stuff outdoors, commercial buildings and commercial boats, very weather intrusive, rains, shoot gets cancelled, all that kind of stuff. I want something that's indoors and it's not going to be affected by the weather. Because at that stage when you're shooting freelance, if shoot gets cancelled, you're not making any money. So I wanted something I could do in my garage effectively. So that's how it sort of came about. So headshots, actors, models, corporates, yeah. So that was pretty much
Nice.
it.
Awesome. And when you first started out, a while back, I know part of the trend that you used to, or that you were synonymous for, was where you did the headshot photography, but you actually chopped off the top of the head.
Yep.
Could you tell us a little bit about how you got into that? Like, what was the thinking behind that?
So the idea behind the chopping off the top of the head is the proximity that you are to a person. So a lot of people complain, "God, man, you get really close." But I wanted to create a situation where there was absolutely no doubt whatsoever what this picture is of. I find that generally people are way too far back, and a headshot is head and shoulders. That's what it is. Chopping off the top of the head, that actually comes from the TV and the movies. When they do a close-up on TV and movies, they often chop off the top of the head, and it's about getting the eyes above centerline. I guess it's really a photographic thing, a rule of thirds, and that's a pretty standard kind of a photographic rule that we have when you divide the image up into 9 equal bits and you put the most important thing on one of those thirds. For a photography sense or in a portrait, the eyes are generally considered the most important thing. So I used to like putting the eyes on that top thing, and to do that and get close enough, I used to chop the top of the head off. For most people, they didn't care. People loved it. There was also a bit of a signature look. People saw that image and they went, "Oh, that's one of Brad's." Yeah. So, but yeah, I still do it. I still have it in my marketing, but I don't do it the way I used to anymore. I had to change.
Tell us about that change. Why? What happened?
I guess it was a marketing thing. Again, back in 2010, there was kind of limited spaces where people would put their imagery online. Nowadays, just a plethora of options for people to put their imagery across social media and websites and et cetera, et cetera. I found that I used to get a lot of pushback from marketing people, graphic designers, website designers, because they'd ring me up and they'd go, "Oh, can I have the ones with the top of the heads in them?" And I go, "Oh, that's it. That's the way it was shot. It's straight out of camera." And they'd sort of go, "Well, what am I going to do with this?" And I go, "Oh, I don't know. You're a graphic designer. Design something." Yeah. And I guess that we've been through that era now with a lot of graphic designers, and where they essentially are using templates a lot. So their image spaces are kind of fixed and they don't like to change them because it takes time. So if my image with the head chopped off didn't kind of quite fit, and of course I used to shoot in a horizontal format as well, which was, again, a little bit unique. But that came about because that's how humans view the world, in a horizontal format. So shooting in a portrait format, I think, doesn't quite work most of the time. So horizontal format, it's how our cameras see, how our our movie screens are horizontal format, our TV screens, our computer screens, and it's all because that's how humans see the world, in a horizontal format.
Oh
So
my
that's how I
gosh.
used to shoot.
My friends all know me. And if they are taking photos of me, it is always a portrait, because everything that we do, like when it comes to the social media, is portraits. So it's like if
Yep.
you are videoing me, if you are taking any sort of photos, or if we hand the camera over to like a waitress or something, they all look at me. If the waitress turns the phone horizontal, my friends all look at me because they're like waiting for me to bark at them and go, no, go portrait. But the benefit is that nowadays, there's so many different editing tools that you can do to simply change that.
Change it.
Yeah. So I always say that marketing's not about what you do that's the same as everyone else. Marketing is about what you do that's different from everyone else. So could you share with us a little bit about like what you believe at this present date, your key marketing point of differences are?
I guess my main point of difference I find is that I spend a lot of time on my headshots. Like people come in for an individual headshot and it's like 90 minutes and I shoot a lot. I have 5 techniques that I follow religiously: jawline, eyes, mouth, turning and tilting. And that's basically, I guess my core belief. One core belief is that most people look like crap in their photos. I find the main reason they look terrible is they've often just simply never been taught how to do it. So every person, doesn't matter what they look like, they have their best head position and then their best expression. So I spend a lot of time talking to particularly my corporate clients. What do you do? What are you trying to say to your audience? Because again, I find that majority of people that want a headshot, the only people that really care about the headshot are potential clients. Like your clients are not going to go back and look at your headshot. My existing clients are not going to go back and look at my headshot and go, oh, it's potential clients that have no clue who I am, that come to my website or my social media for the very first time and see me and go, oh, okay. So your headshot is really about those people. And you go, okay, what are you trying to say to those people? Are you trying to say I'm smiley and happy, I'm a fun guy to go and have beers with? Or is it you're trying to say I'm really, really good at what I do, and read my profile and book me, follow my call to action, which could be ring me, text me, visit my website, whatever it is. So I have a lot of discussions around that, and getting your expression right for me is the most important thing, not necessarily smiley and happy, because if you're a lawyer, are people looking for the smiliest and happiest lawyer? Are they going through Instagram or LinkedIn, for example, and going, oh, I want the smiliest lawyer, or I want the prettiest or the youngest or the best looking? They're probably not. They're going, I want the lawyer that looks like they've got their shit together, and they could be a really, really, really good lawyer. I don't know. That's just my take on it. So, I spend a lot of time chatting to people about, okay, what do you want to say to your audience? What is it that you're trying to get across to your audience? Are you trying to say I'm the best lawyer or the best accountant or the best model or whatever it is? And that's just changing your face and changing your eyes and changing your mouth, and being able to. There's only 3 things on your face that you can move that will change your expression: your mouth, your eyes, and your eyebrows. And once you understand how to move those 3 things, you can pretty much make any expression you like. So,
I'm not going to bring it up, but what about people with Botox?
they're tough. They become tough because it gets harder for them to change their expression and change their face. I get a few of those, but that's okay. Like they often have a look, and if that's their look, that's their look.
Yeah.
So I'm not into big smiley smiles, primarily because whenever another human looks at a human in a photograph, and the studies have been done, there's research all over the place, the first place they always look is the face. doesn't matter what they're wearing or what they're doing. First place they look is the face. So there's always a battle for attention between the eyes and the mouth. Now, if you're wanting to look confident and capable, then you want your audience, your potential clients, to go to your eyes first, not your mouth, because there's a different thought process they will have. If they go to your eyes first, they'll often be thinking confident, capable. If they go to your mouth first because you've got a big toothy smile, then they're going to be thinking smiley and happy. So I go, well, depending on what you do will determine whether you want your audience to go to your mouth first or to your eyes first. So anyway,
Oh my gosh, now I'm just rethinking all those photos I have on social media with my massive smile.
exactly. Yeah, and
because I do have a massive smile, which
Exactly.
I'm known for.
and it can work for people. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to think of the lady who we both know. We met her at BX, I think. What's her name? She's known for a big smile. She's a media person. Oh, you would know who I'm talking about. Aldwin.
Aldwin. Yeah, Aldwin Altooni. Yeah.
Yep,
She's
yep.
been on the podcast.
Yep. So she's known for a big smile, and she, oh no, I have to have my big toothy smile. So, yeah. And listen, that's her thing, and that's what she's gone for. But again, if you're a lawyer or an accountant or a professional or whatever it is you do, we have those choices. And I generally step people through that process, and getting a genuine smile. It's not just smile. It's my toughest gig with every single client is working out what am I going to say to Chantal to actually make her smile, because what happens when you smile, your face lights up.
Yeah.
Now, because often people are smiling because I've said something stupid, and it's a real smile and it's thought-based. So what happens is they've reacted to something I've said, they've had the big smile, but that thought that they've had eventually starts to fade away. What happens then is their face starts to relax back down through the smile as that thought fades away. So I go cha-chink, 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 cha-chink. So on my big screen, because I shoot into a big screen in the studio, we have their range of smile, and then they can choose. Like, well, I don't like that one. I love that one. And I'm a little bit into closed mouth smiles because I think they can get people here. You're still warm and approachable, but you've still got that warmth about you, but you're looking confident and capable because people are going here as well. So I don't know, there's a bit of a thing to it.
No, I love it. There's so many so much insightful tips in there with regards to how do you actually smile and present yourself when it comes to photos. I think with marketing nowadays, we need constantly we need good images. Constantly good images is something that we need across social media, across our website, and we need up-to-date ones as well. There's nothing worse than when you've got outdated photos and you're using them on social media, and you need to be using them all the time. Like consistently, we post, maybe 2 to 3 times a day. And if we're going to do that, we need different images, especially if it's part of your personal brand. So you need to have a good collection of good photos. And I love what you said there about your personal brand having to shine through, how you actually want to be perceived on the other side of that is so important. You actually made me think back now to a presentation that I heard you speak about, where I think you gave people 5 tips. It was, I think around what you spoke about earlier, the 5 tips to how do you actually smile in a photo, what to consider in a photo. Can you go over those 5 things with us?
So, the 5 kind of standard techniques that everybody uses whenever they come in. So the first one is jawline. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes having five.
So
five
what do I do?
chins.
What do I do? Stick it forward?
You go out and down.
Out and down, okay.
Yep. Okay, so the out gives you that distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
For those of you watching on YouTube, has it worked?
cameras can only see what they can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I always shoot at eye level, or pretty much close to eye level, because I'm not very tall. So I don't sit people down in my studio, but I perch them on a stool because it brings their centre of gravity down, or their centre of gravity, I guess is the right word, without making them sort of stoop down and any of that sort of stuff. So shooting them at eye level, I get their jawline. That's why every single one of my photos, everyone's always got a nice jawline, because they're doing that. The more chin you've got, the further out you go. It feels weird, but it looks really good. And the reason it looks good is because cameras are two-dimensional and they squash you. So that's the first part. So the out and then you go down. Now the down does two things. The first thing it does, it gives you a little bit of humility. Yeah, you see a lot of people with their chin up like that because they've been incorrectly informed that if you do that, you get rid of your chin. Well, you do, but then you look like a bit of a dick.
And you look up your nose.
Yeah, and you look like a snob, or you're a bit on yourself or whatever it might be. So you go out and you go down. So the down gives you a little bit of humility, makes you look a little bit humble. The second thing the down does, anything you do have going on underneath, it hides it. Yeah. So that's the first part. The second part of the eyes. So people looking at your headshot want to feel like you're interested in them. Yeah. So it's important that you don't be looking at them wide-eyed. Now, I get a lot of women historically have been told it's about big eyes. You've got to have big eyes. That's true in a beauty portrait, yeah, or a modelling portrait. That might be right. But in a corporate headshot, you want people to think that you're pretty solid. So you don't want to be, because otherwise you can look surprised and a bit out to lunch, yeah. So you've got to have a little bit of a squint. And it's actually in the industry it's called a squinch, but it comes from underneath here, and it's just a little bit. It's like looking at. It's like being to the optometrist. Yeah, it's going to the optometrist and getting to that bottom line and going, is that a P or a D? So your audience want to feel like you're interested in them. It's about showing interest. Yeah, and it's all about the eyes. Yeah. So then the third part is the mouth, and that's that level of smile that we talked about before. We're getting that level of smile is right, and it's looking like a real smile. Because I never say the word smile in a session. I just wouldn't say it. If I want you to smile, I'm going to say something stupid and funny. And like I said, that's often my hardest thing. My lights are all set to go when somebody walks in. It's like, okay, different personalities. Oh, what the hell am I going to say to this guy to actually make him smile? Yeah. So, and some people are easy. I have people that smile too much. Yeah, and then I'm saying, I've got to get a bit serious now and sort of get them to
That'll
tone
be
the
me.
smile down. Yeah. And then the last two things are turning and tilting. Turning's about symmetry, the golden ratio, and where is somebody's face and where do I turn them to balance up their golden ratio. And then the last one is a little bit of a tilt and getting their neck right, depending on which way they're turning, because people have a side and they have one eye bigger than the other generally, and they often smile out of one side of their mouth first. So because you smile out of the right side of your mouth first. So for me, that's your more approachable side.
Okay.
Whereas your left eye is a little bit bigger than your right eye. So that would be your stronger side. Yeah. So depending on, what sort of an attitude you want it to have for your potential clients will determine whether you go this way a little bit or this way a little bit. Yeah. So those types of things are things that I look at. Hair part's an important thing. Again, particularly for women, men as well, but women tend to have generally longer hair, and they'll part their hair on their favoured side of their face. And what they're doing often is saying, look at me from this angle because it looks better. So working at determining, where's your hair part? Okay, that might be the side that you like better. Some people do it consciously and some people that haven't thought about it. Really? Okay, they don't know this stuff. So teach them a little bit about their face. And I have 3 goals out of any session. First one is to give them good images. That's what people come to me for. The second one is hopefully provide a good experience, because they come in and they have fun, they get good images and they learn some stuff. They're going to tell their friends when they post the images, they go,
Who did that?
where'd you get that? Yeah. They go, there's this guy in Robina, the headshot guys, go and see him. And then the last one, I want to give people a little bit of skill. So that anytime anybody sticks a camera in their face, they've got a little bit of an idea about what to do, because most people got no clue. The most education they've ever had in being photographed is often their parents going, smile, smile, bigger smile, and that's it. That's all they get. So they're not aware of, these techniques and these concepts that I sort of use on a daily basis. So
Oh, no, I love so much in that. I've got a huge network of friends, so we'll bring shout out to my friends. And my really close friends, whenever we go out and we do stuff, and they're from all walks of life. Many of them don't actually have a personal brand or their own business. They're all successful, but they've either got jobs or other sort of fields. And whenever it comes to taking photos of me, for example, I went to my daughter's wedding recently and I hired this beautiful accommodation, and I said to my best friend who came with me, I said to her, okay, I want you to take some photos. And she goes, oh no, you're going to be telling me how to take photos again. Because I'm like, she goes, you want me to stand like this? You want me like, so I will actually, because I've now got so much more experience in taking photos, it's like, this is what you do in order to take a good photo.
Yep.
But also, this is how I need to stand. This is what I need to do because I've been photographed for so long now. Like it's become a thing, right?
Yep.
So whenever I go out, we're always like, who's the best photographer out of everyone? I get to take photos of me and my friends. And then I've always got them asking me, how do I stand, Chantal? And I love it when someone corrects me and says, rather than just go there and just snap away, say to me, could you just stand a little bit to the left? Could you stand a little bit to the right? Could you straighten up your head? Often I tilt my head a little bit. I'm like, could you just tell me? I'll just
most people do.
I'll just tilt my head, like just tilt your head, just go like this and I'll do it, you know. So it really annoys me. But I remember that one of the first photo shoots that I ever did, because a little bit about me, I used to be massively overweight up until my 20s, until I, got into health and fitness and changed my life around. And up at when I was in school, everyone used to call me Fatty Boom Boom, and I hated photos being taken of me because I always looked fat, overweight, and I just didn't like it at all. My self-confidence, obviously, and my self-worth was not great either, a lot better now. But so when I got into the fitness industry and I had to have my first photo shoots and I needed to get images done, there was a photographer, her name was Sharon Ellis. I don't think she does it anymore, but she was great. She worked with me so well, and she, like you said, she taught me what to do. She said, stand like this and that's why I knew about the chin forward.
Yep.
Put your chin forward and go to and tilt to the side. And I can tell you, at the end of shooting, I was so sore. For somebody who does a lot of exercise, you would think I would not be stiff, but I was stiff in every part of my body. But those images looked amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Do you find people don't market themselves effectively enough because they don't have enough imagery of themselves? And they go, oh, do I have to get a headshot? Do I have to get photos of myself?
Yeah, look, to tell you the truth, a lot of people, I think it comes down to self-esteem and self-worth.
Yep.
The ones that I'm dealing with. And I know I'm going through it right now. I want to have a photo shoot, but I'm 2.5 kgs more than I want to be right now.
Yep.
I'm dealing with a perimenopausal thing at the moment, and I had a parasite from when I came back from the Philippines, and that has drastically affected my health since January. So self-worth's a huge thing. So I always go, I'll wait until I've lost that 2.5 kgs.
My other thing, the other thing that I have to deal with, and I get this a lot, is that people come into the studio and they go, oh, I want to do a half body shot or a 3/4 length shot. And my first question is why? And they sort of look at me like, I believe, and this is my opinion, that unless you're a model, an actor or a fitness trainer, why do you need body shots? Why do you have to have half body or 3/4 length? Now,
well, just for your dating profile, yes, you would.
Okay, well, I understand that. Okay, dating profile aside.
Very important.
Dating profile aside. But yeah, I just think there's no need for it, because people, if you're a corporate, people want to see this. They're not interested in your suit or your body shape or any of those types of things. Now, I shoot, companies, lawyers, full of lawyers often, or accountants, the same thing.
Yeah.
And their marketing team, who are all beautiful, young, slim, 20-something women, and all of a sudden these professional lawyers, not all of them, but some of them haven't got the best body shapes because they're lawyers and they do what they do. All of a sudden they all come in, they all hate the idea, I've got to get this 3/4. I'm like, can't I just photograph you from here to here, because I can make you look so good, whereas from here to here it's hard to hide the body shape stuff.
Well, that's great. There's a really good point over there. So if you are a little bit more self-conscious, maybe start with just getting a headshot.
Yep.
Just start with that. I'll give you my little trick and my tip to improving my self-confidence and my self-worth. It's 2 things. Number 1, I became perfectly clear on the purpose that I have in this world and how I want to help people, and that's more important than my ego. And that's one thing that I consistently work on, going how I look is not as important as the difference I can make in someone's life. So it's not about me, it's about someone else. So that is something, it's an ongoing process, something that I work on. My second part in order to get more confident was to just take pictures of myself and put it up online. And I made a rule that I would just take a selfie every single day of myself without makeup, because I don't like to get dressed up all the time. I'm very much still into my active and healthy, and I put a little bit of makeup on for this because else I look drained in the images. And when I do awards or I speak on stage,
I worn a bit of makeup.
I wear a little bit of makeup, but generally I'm not that type of person. I'm kind of like more sort of a natural kind of girl. But I just went, it's not about that. It's about the impact that I can make in someone's life. So for me, it was around, I'm just going to get into the habit of taking a photo, a selfie every single day and putting it up. And in fact, not that you are going to be able to see it, those that are listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube, but even today, I did a selfie of me walking around the lake, all sweaty, walk around the lake, just did a selfie and put it up, because it helps me to put it out there and just go, I don't care. It's not about that. It's about the impact that I can make in people's lives. So whilst, of course, I've got to have my nice photos, and definitely, when I do awards and I'm in the media and I'm speaking or emceeing, for all those things, 100%, I need to have my nice images. But for the rest of it, I go, you know what? The day-to-day is absolutely fine. And it's not about me. It's about the impact I can make in people's lives.
Yep.
So, and that's how I built my self-confidence.
Taught yourself as well.
I taught myself.
Yep.
If, like you said, there's at the end of the day, it's the same as the marketing. People go and they try to do their own marketing. You don't have the knowledge, all the skills to be able to do marketing. I have marketing people come to me who've studied in marketing and they use our marketing services. On my website, I've got the marketing strategist other marketing agencies use for their strategy, implementation and coaching. And that's a true fact. And the reason is because they're so embedded in it, they don't know how to do it, right? So instead, it's a case of if you are going to need to get photos taken, one of two things, either learn to do it yourself or work with someone like yourself who's going to be there and give a crap about it and actually help you through the process of getting a good photo.
Yep.
And trust the process.
And perfect. You talked about purpose, and that's, I guess, when you hone in on your purpose, doesn't matter what you do, what sort of business or industry you're in, you've got to understand, hey, what's your purpose? And that's one of the first questions I ask people when they come in. What's the purpose behind these photos? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to look happy and smiley? Are you trying to look confident and capable? Or, who's your audience? What are you trying to say to them? What's your purpose? My purpose is to make you look really, really good, exactly the way you want to look for your audience. What's your purpose? And I'm surprised the amount of people go, I don't know. Who's your audience? Understanding also, I think that people that use all of the social media, as I'm sure you do, the people that will view their stuff on Facebook are going to be very different to the people that view it from LinkedIn, and very different again to those that go to Instagram. I find that generally the marketplace is quite loyal to their particular social medium. Not like me, I use everything because that's what I do, I have to. But most people, they use Facebook or they use Instagram or they use TikTok or they use LinkedIn, depending on what they do and their spot. But you could have a different headshot for every single one of those different mediums, because you have a different expression. It's a different vibe, different age group, different demographic.
Oh, how exciting. That gets me excited straight away, because I always say respect the platform that you're on and respect the audience on that platform.
Yep.
So important. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. So could you let our listeners know, how can they connect with you? Because you're a photographer and you service the Gold Coast and Brisbane, but also on demand across Australia or anywhere really.
Sure.
So could you let people know how they can connect with you?
Well, the best place is the Headshot Guys, the website, the Headshot Guys with an s.com.au. That's the best place to go. Social media, Facebook, I'm across all of those. The Headshot Guys, you'll always find me. It's probably the best.
Awesome. So you can go and stalk his profile and and have a
That's
look
Go
and see how he's made magic out of people.
That's it.
And if you need some photos done, obviously consider working with a pro like Brad.
Thanks, Chantal.
You have watched or listened to another episode of the Meaningful Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Chantal Gerardy. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe and you turn on the notification button, or comment below or leave us a review. See you soon.